Hi guys, welcome back to a brand new piercing horror story video. Hello everyone, what is the tea? What is the Darjeeling? Now, it has been such a hot minute since I have done a piercing horror story. I apologize, it has it's been a while. I know you guys always ask me to do more of these. So, piercing horror stories, here we go, girls. If you have submitted your stories before or you want to submit a story, please comment down below and maybe you'll be in the next piercing horror story video. But thank you to everyone who does submit the stories. I love doing these videos. So anyway, make sure to subscribe, notification bell, like the video, all that good kind of stuff. But let's not beat around the bush and get straight onto the trigger train with your stories, gal. Spooktisha. I don't know where that intro came from. I apologize. Emily Boo Boo. My horror story is wild. So, I was 18 and up until this point, I'd only had my earlobes pierced. I decided that I wanted a septum piercing because it was adorable looking and one that I had wanted for a very long time. So, I go to a piercing/tattoo shop and the owner, who is the one who does my piercings at the time, I didn't know this dude was hard on drugs. Oh, God, you know a piercing story is going to go somewhere where the sentence is hard on drugs. Jesus. So he goes to pierce my septum and pierces it way too high. Well, by the sounds of it, it's not just a septum piercing that's too high. So it was done too high, like at the base through my nose cartilage. What? It hurt so bad. Obviously, it initially started to reject, so I took it out. I waited about a year later to get it again, and now it's fully healed and looks beautiful. P.S. Love your videos. Keep up the great work. Thank you, my love. So it was done too far at the base, like through the cartilage back, really far back, like down here. Oh my God. Oh, this whole, like, no. The fact that you just went to a piercing student, the person was just like off his face and he was like, hello, girl, come in, I'll do it for you. I don't actually know how the person was acting, but wow, a high piercer. But I'm very glad, Emily, that everything has settled down now and it's lovely. Piercing and horror story. Oh, we get a 2 for 1, girl. My lovely piercing horror story is 2 for 1. I always went to a specific shop to a specific person. Well, this day he was busy, but I was willing to wait. The guy's partner was there, which we didn't get along anyway. Anyway, he was like, I'll do it right now instead of you waiting. Oh, I don't like that. I've been going to the same piercer now for 5 years and there is no way I would go to anyone else unless they would just suddenly disappear. Like, literally, no. You build that relationship up. You build the trust. So I agreed. So me being stupid didn't realize that he was mad at me for always choosing his partner for the piercings and tats. What? What? That's not, like, what? What? See, that is unprofessionalism. Like, building a relationship up with the same piercer or tattooist or whatever is like the thing you should be doing. And to be like, I'm mad because you're not picking me. Like, you shouldn't be doing this job. Sorry. Like, your feelings in this situation are completely irrelevant because it's not about you. It's about the other person, like their safety and their comfortability. Like, what are you doing? I sit down to do my tongue piercing and he does it completely crooked. Yay. I then decide to let him do the tat on my wrist. Big mistake. He was in such a crap mood. He went way too deep in some spots, and then in other spots he purposely didn't even lay ink. The tat is so blocky and got so infected. Note that I had many tats and piercings before and never got an infection. I realized later on to the day that he did it on purpose. So now 12 years later my tat looks like poo, and if I take my tongue ring out, I lose feeling in half of my What? If you take out your piercing, you lose feeling in your tongue. Has it like pinched a nerve or something? Like, what? Found out from a good piercer that it's permanent damage to even take. If I take it out, it will never get better. So more of the story, be patient and stick with a professional piercer and tattoo artist you trust. Don't be a twat like me. Well, you're not a twat. I don't think you're a twat. Like, it was a wrong judgment for you to make in the moment to be like, yeah, I'll go with you. You're not a twat. Don't call yourself a twat because you're not a twat. Yeah, I'm sorry that all that happened. I still don't understand. You said if you take out your tongue bar, you lose like feeling. I don't know that much about like the tongue's anatomy and like where all the nerves and stuff are, but like I want to know like what happened and how that's happened. Ear stretching horror story. So my stepdad has his ears stretched and I always thought they looked so cool. So I saved up and got my proper stretching equipment and began to stretch them. I waited several months between going up a size, cleaned them and was super careful and genuinely had no issue. I really wish that was the end of the story. It was wonderful, but we know some horrible things are gonna happen. Then one day in school, I was only 13. You were 13! You were stretching your ears at 13. Okay, so the rules and things kind of like differ between country and country. I mean, when it comes to stretching, it's not like something you could really police anyway, because people just do it themselves. I would always advise, don't stretch your ears until you're at least 16. Your body is still growing, your body is still changing, and like you don't want to like edit, like it's the same with most like facial piercings. I always say wait until you're at least 16. I mean, 18 is probably the best, but like I feel like sometimes it could be a little bit gatekeeping to be like, no, but like I would say for your own safety and your own kind of like body changing and stuff, wait until you're at least 16 to be stretching your ears, because your body is going to change a lot in that time, and you could end up making them like they could end up being like a funny shape because your ears growing or your face is growing, whatever, like especially because you might go too far too quick and then you can't get them back, and all of a sudden you're like 18 and going, oh, I wish I didn't stretch them when I was 13. I've just gone up a size onto the whole new gauge. My friend was messing around in chemistry and I had chemicals, and she had chemicals on her hands and thought it would be funny to yank it. Oh my God, no amount of trigger trains, choo-choo, can explain how much it hurt. I nearly passed out and it would not stop bleeding. It ended up getting severely infected due to the chemicals. I had eventually had to get my left ear back to the original size. Thankfully, they didn't scar, but I've never forgotten how much it hurt. She put chemicals on your ear. Oh my God. I'm surprised that your school allowed you to even do this at your age. My school was kind of quite forward with things. They were able, like, the kids had piercings all up their ears and stuff, but I mean, this was like a slightly different time. I feel like the rules for schools and things now are so much stricter. I mean, I actually don't know how old you are. For all you know, you could be the same age as me. And yeah, back in schools, back when I was in school, yeah, you could have eyebrow piercings. People had like lip piercings, like piercings on their ears and stuff. As long as you took them out for like PE and things, like you were absolutely fine to have them. But I do think my school now, if you were to do the same thing, they would probably be like, absolutely not. However, that was a high school. The fact that you're 13, but I guess the 13 is still technically high school, but I mean, like, we were in like upper school, like we were like, you know, year 10, 11, 12 and stuff. But like, if you were in like year 30, you were 13 years old, which is like year 8. I'm surprised they allowed you to do that at that age. But anyway, chemicals and piercings do not mix. I'm just getting flashbacks now to that girl who put acid on her ears to try and close her ears. Do you remember that horrific video where she put like 100% acid on her earlobe stretcher to try to close it and just completely like killed all the cells in her ears? Oh my God. Wow. But I'm getting flashbacks to that. Ultimate horror story, Skulls Go. This is gonna be exciting. My friend said that her B-Day gift to me would be an industrial piercing, my first real piercing. Though I got my ears done with a piercing gun when I was about 10. Lol. Later I got a total of 6 piercings with a piercing gun. Oh dear, oh go. You really wanted to hurt yourself. Anyway, I took 3 of my friends with me to get my piercing, 2 girls and my boyfriend's little brother. When we got there, I saw an offer and decided to get both the industrial and the eyebrow piercing. Oh gosh. When you get things like an industrial piercing, you don't want to get anything else at the same time because they are so horrible. Like, not only they're incredibly horrible to heal, like, because they fix your ear in a specific place, they're really painful. And, like, you don't want anything else going to be, like, on your body healing at the same time. Like, you want all of your, like, body's energy, body's healing ability to go to that one place, well, the 2 places, I guess, because it is, trust me, don't get anything else if you're going to get an industrial piercing. Don't get anything else at the same time. We walked into this tiny room, and I got the little dots where my eyebrow piercing was going to be. Then, without a clamp, he just gripped my eyebrow with his fingers, took the needle, and janked it up through the eyebrow. He must have hit a nerve because it felt like the needle was underneath the skin of my forehead. Oh, God. The first time I got my eyebrow piercing done back in 2013, I'm pretty sure the guy hit some kind of nerve because when he did it, I felt like a sharp pain going all the way down the side of my face here. And I'm pretty sure he probably hit a nerve or something. So I don't think that's not normal because when I got it redone like years later, I didn't have any of that experience. And he didn't even hit the dots he made. I was so frightened, so I made a little noise because I was so uncomfortable. Then the piercer starts commenting about the noise I made. The things he said was, oh, you're like that hurt. You must be one of those who gets horny for being... What? You must be one of those who gets horny on being in pain. Disgusting. If you say that noise just one more time, I'm going to record it and use it as my notification sound on my phone. Wow. What a disgusting human being. Unacceptable. I'm not even gonna make that much comment about it actually, but unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. When he was doing the industrial, my boyfriend's little brother was watching while the 2 girls were making sure I'm okay. The first hole was going well, but on the second, the needle only getting halfway through, and it hurts, specifically when he starts to wriggle it. Oh my God, he starts to wiggle it in with force. It was so violently that my boyfriend's little brother was close to passing out just by watching it get through, but the blood was running down my ear and neck. I rushed to get some paper to pay the piercer to get the F out of there, and we'll never go there again. Oh my... What? I mean, that entire experience is just absolutely disgusting. That was just absolutely horrific and unacceptable. Like, that's probably one of the worst ones I've heard, especially because it's actually a piercer himself doing all this to you, which is absolutely disgusting. I don't want to comment too much on the stuff that he said about you and the noise and horn and all that stuff. Like, I don't know how far that can go before it's considered SA. Like, I don't know, because it's like an unwanted advance that's a really in that position as well. Like, that's the kind of thing you could quite easily get him fired for doing. Like, that's absolutely disgusting. I don't really want to comment too much about that, but unacceptable. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry that you had to go through that, especially from someone who's meant to be a professional. Like, I apologize. I'm sorry. It's absolutely horrific, and I hopefully, no one ever has to experience anything like that again. That's disgusting. Oh, my embarrassing piercing horror story from Stanley Gale. I'd got my cartilage pierced a few weeks before I had an appointment to get my hair cut. Oh God, that's the worst way around to do it. Fast forward, I'm sitting in the chair. All was well until the lady cutting my hair, her name was Jenny. Oh, Jenny. Ends up smacking my cartilage piercing. Because I'm a severely awkward person, I didn't say anything and just sat there trying my best to compose myself. Meanwhile, my eyes were wide as hell and nearly watering. For a visual representation, I looked like this. I love those eyes. Suddenly, I started to feel extremely dizzy and nauseous to the point where I was about to black out. Oh my God. In my head, I thought, yep, I'm gonna go. So as my grandmother and Jenny were in the middle of a conversation, I fell forward but managed to catch myself on the counter in front of me. Oh my God. Can you imagine if you like actually went full on and you went smacked your face on top of it? Oh my God. My grandmother and Jenny started getting a little worried once they realized I fell forward seemingly for no reason, and they asked if I was okay, to which I said, I think I just need some fresh air. So stupidly enough, I stood up. Well, I didn't make it far. I managed to take 5 steps before collapsing. Oh my God. Once I collapsed, all hell broke loose. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. They were screaming and wondering if they should call 911. I insisted I was fine once I gathered myself, and I just needed a drink of water. My grandmother helped me up, and I staggered my way to the bathroom, immediately collapsing on the floor once again. So there I was, looking as pathetic as ever, with a large cape wrapped around me, wet hair, and my head over the toilet. I can't believe, I get being like socially awkward and being nervous and stuff, but I can't believe you hadn't said like the reason at this point. You had a brand new piercing and it had just been smacked, which has caused your body to have all this adrenaline and surge and stuff, and that's why you're fainting. Like, I'm surprised. I don't know if I could have kept my mouth shut. Can't you collapsed twice and almost like, and then once fell forward and capped yourself, but then you collapsed twice as well. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's the same reason why you say to people, like, when you get piercings, make sure you've eaten before, make sure you've had sugar in your system, because when you do get a piercing, the shock of your body, your adrenaline just like spikes. So if you don't eat anything, your energy suddenly just goes, I'm a head out, go. I got spider bites in the beginning of 2019. While I was eating an apple, just this last July, the apple somehow caught the back of one of my piercings and ripped it out. The ball and all through the back of my lip. It shot across the room and hit my boyfriend in the face. He was mortified. I was bleeding and it was quite an experience. I now snake bites and refuse to eat apples. How did an apple get caught? How did you bite into it to get it caught? Okay, that's one of the weirder stories I've ever heard. I don't understand how you bit into, how did that get? My piercing horror story is when I got my first low piercings at a jewelry shop. First of all, they're completely lopsided. Wonderful. One side is pierced way higher than the other, and to this day, I don't wear small stud earrings because you can see the difference. I kind of have the same with my nose piercings. My nose piercings are ever so slightly off. They're not 100% perfect, so I wear like spiked jewelry because it's less obvious than when I wear studs. But that's not the worst pain. They pierced my ears with a gun, and the earring stud was so small and tiny that once the lobe swelled up, it got stuck inside the hole. Oh, disgusting. The closure butterfly clip was so tight that when I tried to loosen it up, I ended up removing the earring completely. So me being 13, oh God, you were only 13, Jesus. Me being 13 and not knowing any better, obviously tried to put a sharp-ended earring back on. I insert it and I can't find the exit hole because it had swollen shut. So I'm just ramming through my infected earlobe hole with a sharp earring, and I finally managed to put the back on. I swear to God, I thought that was the normal healing process was like. Oh my God, can you imagine? That's like Oh, you bless you. You thought that was normal. I want to know where you got this understanding of like that's the normal thing to do. Like, where did you learn that? Like, your ear would swell up and you have to force piercings like back in and like ripping things open again. Like, I don't know who like taught you this. Where did you learn it, Gail? Last December, I was binge watching videos of people piercing themselves. Wonderful. Just like me. Triggered. So that gave me the idea to pierce my lobe. Stupid, I know, but I'm glad you said it. So one night, I took a sewing needle and pierced my second lobes. The first time I pierced my second lobes, I had trouble getting the earring in because obviously the sewing needle was not the same gauge size as the earring. This is what a lot of people don't really understand. Like, when people pierce themselves with like sewing needles and all this stuff and pins and things, when you go to put an actual piece of jewelry in, the jewelry is so much thicker. So not only have you just like ripped a hole in your ear, you're also now stretching your ear to fit this new piercing, like this new like bar in your ear. Like, it's horrific. And you wonder why people get these horrific infections. It's like because you've just done horrific things to your body. Your body is in so much shock like now. And it's like,
what's happening? Go, help me.
And you're going to get an infection. So every time I kept trying to put the earring in, the hole closed and I kept re-piercing my right lobe at least 6 to 8 times. That you did it 6 to 8. Wow. I mean, I have to give you 5 stars for dedication. Like, I'm not gonna shit on that because Jesus Christ. I struggled mainly with the right lobe, not the left. I'm a lefty. Some weeks flew by and I noticed the right lobe piercing was a little off, so I re-pierced it myself. Oh, you did it again with the sewing needle. More weeks went by and it was still uneven, so once again I re-pierced my right lobe. You are, I mean, again, 5. Now you're getting 6 stars of dedication. Jesus Christ. So in conclusion, I am now left with a few scars and small indents in my right lobe from me re-piercing myself so much in one place, and it's still uneven. I promise. And it's still uneven, I promise, after the incident. Oh my God. I get my piercings done professionally now. Well, I'm glad you get them done professionally now. I can't believe you did it that many times. Like, you wanted it that bad. There is many piercings that I want, piercings that are rejected that I don't want to get rid of, but like, I've never been that dedicated, so I mean, although I disagree with what you did, I admire your dedication. You sound like someone who'd be a very loyal friend. Well, guys, I am well and truly bish aboard that trigger train. I got my tickets. I've got an entire bloody carriage to myself. I'm so triggered. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like button, subscribe, notification bell so you don't miss any videos that are coming up. And as always, please come and follow me on my social medias, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram. All that stuff is linked in the description. And also, make sure you do leave your comments down below, and maybe you can be into the next piercing horror story. And again, if you have already put your comments, please redo it. You're more than welcome to post the same story again if I've not read it out, and maybe you can be in the next video. But thank you for watching, girls. A massive shout out to my lovely patrons whose names you can see beside me. Thank you for being a patron. You guys are incredibly. But an extra special shout out to my top tier patrons: Alexander Shaw, Aurora666, Bethard, Boostershot93, Brenner, Casey, Cassie Hill, Cat.Dom, Chill Herman, Chris Williams, Christopher John, Rory, Corin Pemberton, Crafty Leaks, Dark Angel 666, Demetri Stettel, Ethan Lewis, Heather Prissy, Caitlin Wright, Kat L, Kelly Bowser, Chloe Louise, Laura Hill, Noff, Sam Perfect, Samuel Patterson, Stefutek, and Suz Mac. Thank you for being my top tier patrons. You guys are incredible. There's a Patreon link down below. Let's go on Patreon as well and join the family. But anyway, I'm actually posting an outtake video today, so they get outtakes today, girls. Anyway, but that's amazing. We gave everything you want to be, and don't let any bitches tell you can't be you. Why is that? Because you are flawless. I ruined it. It was the wrong way round. Ah.